Hey guys, welcome back to the Alcohol-Free Automotive channel. My name's Todd, and today I'm going to be working on the Charger this morning. I've got the hood up, and we're going to be taking off the front bumper because we're getting ready to do an awesome install of some diode dynamics lights. And so I wanted to give you the process, what it is on a 2018 Charger. I know that there's a couple of differences between some of the models of Charger, and so mine's a GT Plus. You may have slightly different steps. There's one particular piece that I'm thinking in mind here. So we'll go ahead, we'll get started, and we'll take a look at the tools that we're going to need first. Now, I try to do things in a minimalist fashion here. Mostly of what I'm working with is just basic hand tools, and so I have a 7mm wrench. I have a panel removal tool, just a cheap one. You can get these at AutoZone or O'Reilly's or whatever, just a few bucks, like $6, $7 maybe. When I bought it, you know, everything's a little bit more expensive now. And then I have a ratchet with a 10mm socket and a very short extension, which I'll use that to undo a couple of bolts, and that should be all we need to get this off. So we're going to dive under the wheel well here first, and many channels will tell you that you absolutely have to jack the car up and take the wheel off, but I found that to be not true. So I'm going to show you how you can do this without putting your car up on jacks, ramps, whatever. A lot of people like to take the wheel off. It is easier, don't get me wrong. It is easier to get the get access to what we need to if the wheel is not here, but you can in fact do it while the wheel's still on the car. So that's how I'm going to approach it this morning. Basically, what we're going to need to do is remove, in the case where we were leaving the tire on, we need to remove the entire fender liner, because we don't have the space to like bend it out of the way we would need to. And so you're basically just going to be looking for all of these pins that are all over the place. There are about 20 to 25 holding, oh excuse me, got a little burp there. There are about 20 to 25 holding this in. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6 on the outside, 7, 8, 9 back there. And the way that I'm going to approach this is I'm going to get to what I can while the wheel is turned 100% to the right, and I'm going to pull all the ones out that I can here. And then while the wheel is on, we can get our hand back here and remove anything that's, you know, further under the fender. Let me see if I can get some lighting up in here so that you can actually see what I'm doing, because I'm realizing the contrast here is pretty crap. So give me a sec. Wow. So I go over there and I get a little container to get all the stuff stored up, and I don't even grab the light I came over here for. So we'll start, we can use this panel tool. Like I said, this is just the basic one. I do have other ones that I can use, but I did it first with this, so that's why I'm sharing this method with you. So there's one that belonged here, and then up here where the two joints combine. Let's see if I can get the angle here. There were ones there, and then all around this edge, and I think that's all the ones that we're going to be able to get from the steering wheel on this angle. But before we turn the wheel, we're going to want to turn our attention to, I guess these are the brake ducts, and so I don't know if they're on SXT and all those, but these brake ducts come in from the front of the bumper and provide a path for air. And so you just take a 7mm wrench, and there's 3 screws that hold this together. So there's one on top, and then one on either side, kind of towards the bottom of this duct. And they're kind of annoying because they're the ones with the washers that don't come off, so you can't really like unscrew them by hand. So again, if you had the wheel off and you had a air ratchet or battery operated ratchet, not a problem, but space is tight here. So, and we're gonna see if we can get to the second one here. I'm pretty confident I'm not gonna get to the third one. There we go. It is tight, definitely real tight in this area. But again, just showing you that it is in fact doable. Wow. Okay, so I've already removed these 2 while the wheel was turned the other way, but as you can see, there's much more working space to get to this and all of the pins back that way once you turn the wheel away from there. So just to let you know, this is probably going to be a better approach. So we're almost done getting the pins out, and I'll show you how you get this thing out once we're done with that. Okay, I did also want to mention that pins like this that are up in these are going to be more difficult to remove with a simple tool that's relatively flat like this. It can be done. Just take your time and get it under there, you know, work your way up to get that part extended out, and then carefully get the big part out, and it's going to go flying apparently. So we'll have to go and find that. Don't know which one of these it was. Nope. There we go, found it. And so yeah, just wanted to point that out. You can do it, it's a bit of a pain. Same thing with these ones that are up in this bit here, and this one right back here. So just know that it's going to be kind of a struggle to get a flat tool in there effectively, but it can be done. Then one more bit right here. I'm just showing you a picture of the side of the bumper. It's kind of fun trying to plant you up in a place where you can see what's going on and not be fully blinded. Fun, fun. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna pan out as far as recording goes. Oh. Now, once I have what I think is all the pins removed, I'm gonna do kind of a little yank test and see if it's all loose, which it seems to be. Alright, so now, in order to get this all squared away, I do have to kind of bend this down to get this edge out, and doing this with one hand while I'm holding the camera is kind of difficult. Let's see what we can do here, and then expand that around there and just kind of work your way around here. So that's the back half. And then the front half has an interesting thing. Right here behind this section, there are a couple of big chunky clips that kind of help align it up against there. So you'll have to be very careful getting that around. And we'll see if we can take a video of this and still make it seeable. One thing that I found that I had to do is up here at the top of the knuckle, I guess. Got to get this kind of cut out part here. I'm going right up against the edge of it. Kind of need to get that around the edge of the ball joint. And then as we work this around, oh, that's the part. So the edge of the liner goes behind a little bit of metal here. Kind of need to work that out. There we go. Now we're starting to get significant play. We got a reasonable gap here that's starting to play, but this is still held in pretty tight by those chunks. So let's see what we can muster here. So ultimately what I'm trying to do is get the well liner kind of extracted from behind the plastic that is like the bottom lip. And at the same time pushing this section out. So here we go. Get your hand under there. And then under there. We are almost free, my friends. Now that this segment is back by the the control arm, we can start kind of coercing sections out. Woo! There we go. So, see this chunk? There's a little groove, and that's where the edge of the fender goes. So that chunk is what we have to get around. It looks like on some models of this car, those are a different size and more chunky. So just be cautious as you're taking it apart, but that allows us to lift the whole thing out. Right, there are two electrical connectors that need to be disconnected before we take the bumper off. And the first one is for the fog lamp. If you have the fog lamps, it's going to be basically right at about this level. There's a little red connector on it, and that little red bit needs to be slid back. So you might need a pick or a tool to get it popped back. And if you're using this panel removal tool, that's how I got it open. Just get it behind there, and then you can squeeze towards the very back of the connector. On the top, there's the lever to pull it out. Now the second one is for the connection for the side marker lamp, and it is really difficult to see what you need to be doing. So here is how I approach that problem. So I could see the clip and understand what is going on. I just use my phone, find the clip, and it looks like it just presses on the bottom here. Whoops. And when we press in that bottom correctly, it's kind of fiddly. Yeah, it's there. Oh, there we go. So now we can take a look at what that clip looks like. And that clip, basically what you're trying to do is there's a little black bit in the back here. That's the thing that we're trying to press. Is this black thing in the back. It's pretty snug up in there, so basically it is lifting the hook that's on the inside of this little shield here. So those are the two things that we need to disconnect there. The next thing I'm going to do is go bottom side so that we can free the bottom of the bumper from the rest of the car. Now this section is quite difficult to see, but what we're looking for is we're going to take off, ooh, sorry about that. We're going to take off the entirety of the bumper in the beginning portion here. This is the front skid plate. It looks like I've lost a connector there. Probably need to screw that in. But there are a number of connections here that need to be removed. And if I remember right, that is going to be a pop and release. Yeah. Since I'm on the ground, this is quite tight, but we'll try to work with it. I've got my camera in the way of my working. Oh goodness. Boom. So there are like 5 or 6 of these. A couple focused around the front. I'm trying to see if I can show you where these are. You just kind of have to feel around for them since they are the pop and pull type connections. Just look for them. And there he is. They're all kind of like mirror imaged. So any ones that you take out of the left, there should be a partner for it on the right. And you are looking at the dirt. I don't know what you're going to be able to see here. And again, I think this tool is one of the best if you're trying to do this on the ground without raising the car, because it is so narrow and doesn't require a whole lot of flex, and it gets us what we need. So that's 3. Yeah, and basically just feel around for them. I think there's a total of 5 here that we need to get off. And sometimes you might need to use some extra leverage. So pop that out and then pop the base out. That is, in fact. So yeah, looks like I was missing one over on this side. That should not fall freely like that. But once you got those undone, you can head on up top. And here, once you're up top, we can get all of the pins that are in our fascia here, and also remove this, because we'll need to get that off so that panel can make it past the hood release. All right, so got all that taken out, and so the next step is to remove 6 screws, bolts, whatever you want to call them, on the top of the bumper inside the engine compartment. There's one on either side, and then we have to go and pull out a bolt from here and here. Yeah, these don't have to be super tight, and just loosen them up with the ratchet at the beginning. And once I get it started, check this out. I just use the extension as a screwdriver. You know, you can do this with power tools if you like, but this gives us what we need. Okay, the last two screws that we're looking for are buried deep within. And so what we want to do, tearing through battery here, what we need to do is find them and then take them out, right? So they are kind of along this body line. So that's where you want to be looking. And so we'll be able to look out that way. And the first one is, I don't even know that I can get a camera angle at it. Let's see what we can do here. I'll try to get you. Oh, that's my mug. I need to angle you just a little bit. All right, so right here, right where the body's panels come together. See if we can get the right lighting on it. Shine in your eyeball. There we go. So that right there needs to be unscrewed, and you'll feel a little pin right next to it, and it's about a ½ inch to an inch from the edge of the body panels, like the part that you see. So again, you can get that on there. You may need a screwdriver, or sorry, a ratchet to get it started, but I just had this off last weekend working on the lights. So and again, these are 10mm socket that I'm using. Make sure you don't lose those. And then the other one is like super ridiculously hard to get to. So again, we'll see if we can get a reasonable angle here. All right, so man, this is tough. All right, so up in here we have another pin and another pin, and I'm trying to make sense of this here. We have 2 pins, and then right past that top pin is going to be where the screw is. You can barely see it. I can't hold the light and everything. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, there we go. So right there. So you'll go past the first plastic pin, second plastic pin, and then you'll find that third one right there. And again, I just need to get that loosened up. I can't hold the camera and get this bolt out at the same time, so I'm just gonna go at it blind. There we go. I did just get it loose, and so once you get it loose, it's pretty easy to get these things by hand. So I do recommend that. You know, break it loose with a ratchet or just a fat point on your socket. And then repeat on the other side. And notice I've got the wheel turned inward so I can get to that stuff. You're not going to be able to reach them if the wheel is turned towards you on the side that you're working on. So before you go over to the other side, get those wheels positioned the other way. Make sure you get your flashlight out of there so you don't break anything. So if I've done everything right, it is time to pull this bumper straight off. And there we go. It was just hooked a little bit. And there you go. Bumper removed. So that is the process to remove the front bumper off of your 2018 Dodge Charger GT Plus. Generally, process will be relatively similar if you are using any other, or you have any other Charger that's of this generation. I think 7th generation are we on? So yeah, that is a good place to start. And stay tuned. I'm going to show you a video on installing the Diode Dynamics headlights, and a fun little thing that I did, because I live in a cold area and I've got the engine block heater. So I've got a video on how to hide the plug for your engine block heater. So to do things all nice and clean. And I might even have a video on putting together the intake there. So a couple of things coming up. Probably going to be month or two. Not a month or two. Probably about once a month is my goal here. You know, got to fund the habit. So as I add things and do things, I'll continue to record. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it was helpful. If you liked it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and comment if you found any differences when you were taking off yours. Let me know. Hopefully we can share those with the rest of the community here. And that's all. So thanks for watching. My name's Todd, and we'll see you next time.